seconds. Everyone rise. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone to the meeting. Okay, roll call, Diana.
Mr. Douglas?
Here.
Mr. Bartlett?
Here.
Mr. Irwin?
Here.
Mr. Langley? Here. Mr. McDonald?
Here.
Mr. Favreau?
Here.
Mr. Gwinnett? Mr. Farrell? Mr. Catro? Ms. Barber? Mr. Gillette? Mr. Bax, and Mr. Ryan.
Thank you very much. Need a motion and a second to approve the minutes of October 28th, 2019.
I'll make it.
Jim Douglas,
I'll second.
second by Rick Barber. Any discussion? Like always, thank you. All in favor? Aye. 5 ayes. Okay, now I need a motion and a second for approve the public hearing of November 7th.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Rick made the motion.
I'll second.
No second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
5 ayes. Moving right along, number 5, motion discussion to accept all reports from all departments, water, sewer, bill corps, highway, town clerk, dog control, youth departments, code and zoning, supervisor reports, court reports, website, JCO, and banking reports.
I'll make the motion.
Jim Langley,
I'll second.
no second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, number 6, community inputs. Anyone sign up?
No.
Anyone want to speak before we move on? Okay, moving on. Quick one. Number 7, resolution discussion, approval of the 2019 re-levy list for Clinton County. This is the water and sewer bills that didn't come in before November 6th. They were due November 6th. Anything after that, I've been signing a letter that was prepared and sending checks back and explaining exactly why they had to go back. They had to go on taxes they had to have the re-levy list at the county, so we obviously can't take the check, so it goes on our taxes. We have a total of $59,000, I believe, and some changes, $59,703.71, which of that, water was $29,042.86, sewer was $30,660.85, so grand total, like I said, was $59,703.71. That's typical average I've seen over the last 10, 12 years. You get anywhere from 50 to I think 73 was the highest I've ever seen.
This is about 3,000 over last year.
3,000 over last year. And some people, as you can see with the list, they don't pay anything all year, it just goes under taxes. You know, they might have escrow that way or better fit their budget, so.
We were hoping to cut back on some of that by going with the credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we end up getting it in the end, as we know, and it goes back in, but.
I think it's actually less people with the dollar figures on
Yeah, a lot of people, as you can see, there's the big amounts, and the big amounts are people that they do it all year. Yeah. So, with that being said, I need a motion and a second for Diane to read that resolution.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Rick made a motion,
Second.
second by Douglas. Resolution, Diane.
Resolution to re-levy unpaid October 2019 water sewer bills. Whereas the town of Peru has delinquent water and sewer accounts in the amount of $59,703.71 remaining unpaid, including late fees and charges from October 6, 2019 water billing. Now be it resolved that no further payments were accepted after November 6, 2019, and any and all unpaid water and sewer accounts for the year 2019 be re-levied onto the 2020 town taxes, and be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Any discussion? The only discussion I will have is if someone gets a call or someone talks to someone that I did sign the letter, that I sent back the check and a copy of their check and explaining why. Their check might have been dated like November 5th, November 4th. We didn't receive it stamped, Judy stamped them, or Diane stamped them. The date it came in, so it was after we had to have the re-levy at the county. So some people, I already got one phone call, that, you know, I sent my check in, November 5th. Well, we didn't get it until the 8th or 9th, so if someone gets a phone call, they can call me, but it's explained in the letter and everything in their check going back to them, what happened. Any more discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Langley?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. 5 yeses. Okay. Number 8, okay, resolution discussion, schoolhouse woodwork quote for approval. After a long discussion and talking with Ron Allen and Randy, he got us an estimate of exactly what's going to take place now and at this time. There's going to be woodworking, wood casings done over there, and anything, he has the wood over there. The wood was around $800 to $900 is what I was told. So that and the labor is $1,675 now. So anyone else have any more discussion on this? Or Jim, do you have anything else you talked to Ron?
No, I just, he's happy with that, and I talked to Randy too, and I explained it to him, and Mr. Allen was happy, and she said if you want, just question why we had tabled it, and I said, he can't start until we have an insurance. And he said, okay, I understand that, but he would give to it. So Randy did finally. He got it all to him.
Yeah, good. And Matt overlooked it and everything to make sure, as we know, Randy's gonna be doing the work himself.
Right.
And according to this letter, we have a letter behind it saying that. Matt looked into it too, and everything is fine to go the way it is, and he does have his liability insurance, a copy of it here.
This estimate also includes the stuff that is in the building currently, right?
It includes the wood, yes, and his labor that he's gonna be
Materials,
doing. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Any more discussion? If not, I need a motion and a second for the resolution to be read.
My only question is, do we ever ask them that name us as an additional insured? Usually you see a certificate, and this is just a copy of the deck page. And do we accept 300,000 as a liability limit? I don't mean to be miserable, I'm just asking these questions. Because the million aggregate isn't $1 million claim. That just means that you could have a little more than 3 claims filed against you in any 1 year and have them paid for 300,000. It's a cumulative amount. It's not an actual claims amount.
Was this the same coverage that he had the last time he did the job?
I don't know. Never seen it. The only place you're going to see it if you're named as an additional insurance on a certificate.
Yeah, and it's right there, it doesn't say, this says additional insurance, and all other $60, but it doesn't tell you, it doesn't say it's not approved.
Well, what you can do is, because you have the information, you can call Kim Clark tomorrow and ask him to send it over.
So you wanna base, you wanna approve it based on,
Haven't received it, right?
okay.
I mean, as long as you're fine with the $300,000 limit, I mean, me personally, I don't have a problem with it. He's doing $1,600 worth of work. Right. Keep it in perspective. And he's doing us a favor, really, for what we get done by him.
Okay. So I
So
need
I
a,
would say if we just call and get Kim Clark to send a copy of the certificate naming the town of Peru as an additional insured, we'll be fine.
okay, so you wanna make the motion on that?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, and I will call tomorrow, and ask them about that, or get that for sure. So Jim made the motion, upon me calling, make sure I get the certificate of it.
So the motion would be to accept this proposal, but not allow them to start work until we receive that certificate.
Okay. Jim made the motion, Jim Langley,
Second.
second by Jim Douglas. Resolution, Diane, and then we can have some more questions if we have them.
A resolution approving the town's agreement with Randy LaValle for work needed on Lion Street Schoolhouse and authorizing the supervisor to execute the same. Whereas the town board has a town agreement between the town of Peru and Randy LaValle, before it now therefore be it resolved, said proposed agreement is approved for the sum not to exceed $1,675, and the supervisor being hereby is authorized to execute said agreement, and be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Langley?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. Number 9, discussion resolution. I need a motion and a second to approve Elcor sewer rate increase. We have the public hearing at 6:30 tonight. No one showed up for it. We explained it's $10 quarterly increase. Let me get my paper out from earlier. Right now, the residential down there is $150 per 10 hours of the grinder pump per quarter. It's $15 per hour after the first 10 hours. Commercial is $180 for the first 10 hours, $18 per hour after the first 10 hours. It's going to be $10 per quarter. We were talking about it for months. We had a public hearing, no one makes it show at 6:30 for it. Total down there, me and Courtney talked a couple minutes ago, it's right around 36, 37. Commercial is 11, roughly. So it's not affecting a ton of people, but obviously we know we haven't had an increase in years down there, and what we're going to need for stuff and improvements and to keep it running, we need to do an increase. So no one showed up for it. So with that being said, any more discussion? If not, I need a motion and a second to read the resolution.
Make the motion.
Motion by Rick,
I'll second.
Diane, resolution.
A resolution to increase Valcourt sewer rates for January 1, 2020. Whereas in order to meet all the financial needs for the management of Valcourt Sewer Department, and be it resolved that the above mentioned department will increase by the adopted quarterly new rate effective January 1, 2020. See chart below, Valcourt sewer rate effective January 1, 2020, and district Valcourt sewer residential $150 for the first 10 hours per grinder pump per quarter, $15 per hour after the first 10 hours. Commercial, $180 for the first 10 hours per grinder pump per quarter, $18 per hour after the first 10 hours. And be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Langley?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. Okay. Number 10, discussion. Sewer collection project update, Courtney.
Only update I have is, as of now, is I had a meeting Monday with Matt and Brad from AES, and we discussed what easements we're gonna need and what was the licensing agreement, is that what you call it?
Yeah, rather than doing,
Easement.
yeah, instead of temporary easements, everything was gonna be a temporary easement, we're gonna do a license, which allows us to go on the property and do some work. The license is a lot more compact, I guess, agreement, allowing us to go on the property and do work, and it expires at the end of that, rather than temporary easement. There's a lot of pros to doing it that way, so we're gonna have them go back and redo their map to show what's gonna be a license versus an easement. The easements are gonna be the things we'll need, you know, in perpetuity going forward, that'll become part of the deed and have to get recorded at the county clerk's office. So, the less easements we do, the cheaper it's gonna be, because you have to record all these, and I think residents are gonna be able, it'll be easier to talk to residents, letting them know this is just a temporary situation if you need a license versus an easement over somebody's property, you know, up to 30 feet wide in perpetuity for various reasons. So, they're gonna redo their map. There's still a question, I think, of where some of these lines may go, which is gonna determine kind of what we need for permanent easements going forward. So they're gonna work on that, try to get it done get that information back to us shortly. And then we talked about how we're gonna start publicizing this to residents and getting letters out and, maybe have just an open meeting here to discuss what we're gonna need and when. And the more information we can get out, the better, the sooner. And we're gonna try to get all this done, it sounds like by the end of this year, early next year, so we would be bidding this fairly early in the year. So there's gonna be a lot of work on our end to get that part of it done.
Yeah, something maybe we wanna have a meeting where everybody's invited to come if they have questions. And maybe we could have a couple notaries here, so maybe we could do some.
Right, so the documents are ready to get some.
And the notary.
You're a notary.
We got two, will be here for sure. We want to look at dates now, or do you think by next meeting we should?
I mean, at least next meeting, AES has got to redo the map, it's got to give us a list of what we're gonna need. Once they finalize their plans, then we're gonna have to start drafting some stuff, so it's gonna be 2, maybe 4 weeks before we're at that point to pick a date.
Okay.
And it might be easiest just to do it, an hour before, a couple board meetings in December or something along those lines.
June, December. Discussion about it?
That's about it.
And move on. Number 11 already. Other business. Rick?
I'm good.
Jim?
The only thing I have, I mentioned to, some lady called me this afternoon, and then I called Bob. She's offended and thinks that town should take the sign down that's next door about politics, that it sucks for 2020, and she said she thought that wasn't very nice. I said it's on private property, but I said, would you like me to bring it up? She said, yes, I would. She was, so I said, I will. Matt, it's on private property, and Bob, I checked, I mean.
There's nothing really in our code book.
And
It's a freedom of speech, like I was talking to you about, Jim. It's a freedom of speech. It's less than the sign quality that we have to approve or anything of zoning and all that. I had a Mary, I told you, called me on Friday. She was offended, and I don't know if it's a Mary and Ann's the same person. I don't know, but she had a private on my cell number, and she was offended by the Schifflers, and I said, and she said the same weird, same kind of simulation to your phone call, that she said, what if kids are watching, what people are putting out in their yards and all that. I said, ma'am, it's funny because I said the same thing you said. I said, have them turn on TV for 2 seconds, and there's a lot worse than that being said on TV. And I mean, she was talking about Schifflers, so either the Mary didn't see this one, or Ann didn't see that. Regardless, it's a freedom of speech thing, and there's nothing that the town can do. I mean, so. Depending on what gets phone calls, there's nothing we can do about yard signs in that form. If it's a big sign, it's a business sign, that's different. I mean, that's when zoning and codes and all that get involved, but nothing with political signs. Yeah, so, anything else, Jim?
that's it, so we're bringing up some.
Diane?
I just put for the hours for the January, I just made my little list for January, just wanted your approval. I have to send it to the treasurer's office, or I told him I'd ask it there tomorrow after I talk to you tonight. My only thing that I'm second guessing myself on is last year, I was open till 6 on the 31st. My thing was this year why I chose 3 o'clock is the town hall's open until 3 o'clock, and it's a Friday for banking purposes, for deposits. But then I thought about it, well, I'll just cut off my batch and start again, and wait till that Monday to do it for a deposit. And, I can batch out, but it can just be so that I can cross-reference. So if you want me to keep it till 3, I'll keep it at 3. If you want me to move it till 5, I'll move it to 5. Saturday worked great last year, so we're gonna do the last Saturday just like we did.
Actually, Saturday worked better than any of the extra nights.
Yeah.
For us.
For us, yeah.
For us.
And I just picked Monday nights
Yep.
because we have board meetings Monday nights or town meetings. So that seemed to work too,
And
so.
I will be here that Saturday, obviously.
Right. And I'm always here till after 2 o'clock anyways, but you have to have something set, so. Doesn't matter to me, I'll stay on, I'll post it later on that Friday if you want me to. I have no problem.
Leave the way it
I feel good with it, the way it is, and I, like I said, the nice Monday night I'll be with you, and then Saturday I'll be with you.
Perfect.
Okay.
And the other thing is that, the conversation of the lighting of the Christmas tree, any suggestions, comments, whatever, who would like to ask this year to light the Christmas tree. That was discussed this afternoon, and I said I would pass that on to
Yeah, and I talked to Courtney about it, I talked to Mike about it, I think talked to Rick, I think, and many people we could talk to so far. I think Mel was in agreement, I don't know, I'm sure Jim will be too. I think, it's a board decision though, I think Greg Timmons would be a great person to honor this year for that. I mean, there's a lot of good people out there, believe me, but I think Greg Timmons, obviously all the years, 40 plus years, he worked for the town, I think it'd be a nice honor to do it for Greg Timmons. Next year, obviously, there's a lot of people, so, I mean, obviously, but I think it'll be a good idea, if everyone agrees.
I told you I had agreed because he was always there too for the lighting. I mean, made sure that the lights came on and the power was there, so I'm all for it.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Good, Mel? Yep.
Do we have a date on that?
What?
Do we have a date on that yet?
I think it's the 5th of December.
It's the first Friday in December, I think it's the 5th. It is, nope, the 6th. The 6th. Yep, the 6th, has Taylor Rental got together with you yet in the fire department?
I was at the last fire department meeting, they weren't there. We got one coming up this
So
month.
hopefully they work out something with that, I mean, that'd be nice to have, you know,
I brought it up to Taylor Rental the other day, they're just doing what the fire department usually does,
they,
last I knew.
they better get together with the fire department, all the coordinate the timing and everything.
They're
That'd be
leaving
good.
the fire department coming up on that.
And Courtney said they had a meeting the other night, nothing's been.
As far as I know, I haven't talked to anybody at the fire department, unless that's changed since my last meeting I had there last month, that could have changed.
Okay, so make sure we get that coordinated, or if not, you can call Chris tomorrow and just tell them, make sure they get over there, if they haven't already. Okay, so that'd be awesome. So we will definitely honor Greg Timmons that night, December 6th. Okay, my other business, I did have one thing, but I'm gonna have to come back because there was something. Yeah, I didn't think of it. Jim?
I'm good.
Except for Mel's glasses, I want everybody to admire those.
I saw the snow, I had
I think
to.
that, I mean, with that shirt, it's a wonderful combination. Good for you. Not everybody can pull that off, but it works.
I was trying to be like the weathercaster on the Weather Channel.
Oh, brother.
Al Roker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pulling an Al Roker.
Look at my tan.
Take that down. Take that down, mate. Nothing, Mel?
Not after that.
Good.
We get to Gordon.
Yes.
First thing, I had budgeted to replace the carbon at the water plant. Last year when I called to get prices, the budget, it was roughly under 25,000. Our procurement policy states up to 30 in public works, I only need 3 prices. So I called around, I can only get 2 prices. I've been trying for weeks, but now one of the prices is over 30, which puts us into the, we're technically supposed to go out to bid. If we want to go out to bid, it's going to cost us more, I think, in the end, because then I'm going to have engineer write up the specs and make sure everything's right, so when it goes out, or are we good with 2 prices?
As long as you make a faithful attempt, I believe, or a fair attempt, that it's always been that way, as long as you can prove that you made a fair attempt, that you tried.
Yep. So I can have that. The other thing, the windstorm that we had on the 31st, some of the hometown hero banners got damaged. I don't know if anybody's received any phone calls. Again, we don't own them. They're not ours. Rick's offered to get the genie and call the people that had damaged banners, but I just want you guys to know that there were some that you get phone calls.
She's in Florida now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
I talked to Courtney about the ones that are damaged, just make a list of them, and we'll get ahold of the people that own them, and we'll just go from there. Because
There's about 10 of them.
a reprinting on those can't be that expensive.
They're beyond repair.
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Some
are.
of them are
The wind.
destroyed. The wind was, we were tied up, I mean, we couldn't get around it, plus it was dangerous to begin with those aluminum poles whipping around. But there's probably about 10.
sad part is we try to keep it all for Veterans Day, but we all know.
And it's risky in the
with
fall.
North
I mean,
Country.
the way the weather changes, it's risky keeping them up in the fall. Unfortunately. So, that's what I have. If anybody's else digging up the intersection, we gotta hook the old water line to Stewart's. Had a few issues, but we did have a valve leaking up there now in the intersection, but we got it to stop now. Hopefully that'll carry us until spring and we'll do something about it then. Other than that, that's about it.
Good. Mike?
Patton Road, update finally, meeting with Jamie Hemingway and, one of the guys from Camp Precast, which is making the box culvert. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we're gonna walk the site, pick up where we're gonna do the detours. More than likely it's gonna be Mannix and Barney Downs. You'll be able to go around if you live in between there where the road will be dug up. Peter Gibbs is gonna kind of show us in one way or the other, either because the blacktop plants are closed now, obviously. Either we're gonna use a little bit of concrete or we'll use gold patch. Either or. We've gotten by, we wish it would have been 3 weeks ago where we could have got it. The pieces are heavy, they're about, they're 12,000 pounds a piece. Lux crane is tied up all next week, so, but there will be bodies. Next week, I'll have a little more information after I meet with Jamie tomorrow. She's doing the bonding and everything to pan to get that in place so they can start, put the signs up. It'll close, there'll be a lot less stress on me because it's getting worse, especially the passenger side. I've been going every day. It's got to settle, but it's still safe. But you don't know how many trips with that loaded tandem, it's going to be safe.
Question, what is Orville gonna do, go up and plow up Reservoir Road to Mud Pond Road, turn around up there?
No, he'll probably come as far as the church, I'm going to assume.
And turn there?
Somewhere near, I'll have a park. Obviously, we're going to have to angle that driveway for the older lady that lives at House 81 up there because it's going to come right out where it's going to be dug up. So it's just put a driveway in at an angle and move her mailbox.
What is the ribbon that's around that oak tree?
She put that, she didn't want that tree cut if all, and that's kind of what held this whole thing up because the wing wall was going to, you know, like a normal wing wall go over right. And it's a beautiful tree, so we keep peace, we turn it back. Of course, that's held it up a little bit, so we'll have that. So hopefully next week there'll be some action on that. The goals would be a lot, like I said, it'll be a little bit of pain. I've already talked to the school, their bus driver's not worried about it, not a big deal. It's Camp's coming over more to see which way he wants to come in to get his pieces there, because I'm hoping he wants to come in for Minnick, so not mess with that big hill. We have enough problems today. The other news, the 2 new trucks are on the road. We're still playing with the village, with the salt. We're right now putting out 200 tons of lane mile. We're only sanding one way. He goes up, plows, when he comes back, and he's only sanding one way. It works pretty good. We had to tweak it a little bit, but the one White's driving was working good, but now it's dead in the garage. But it's got like 5 computers, and it's a couple pins that tell the transmission and the engine talk and the starter that it's in neutral. Even though it's in neutral, there's something wrong with the pin, and they're not talking back and forth. So the parts will be in tomorrow between 10:30 and noon. We'll just run the truck. They'll come get it started, run it down there. It only takes a few minutes, put the pins in. We should be up and going. They seem to be working. Plowed a little early, obviously, when it's come. Last year it was earlier, so. That's all I got.
Bob?
Just a little update on Stewart's. There's going to be some additional blacktopping on Tuesday. They're going to pour some concrete Monday for the canopies and for the gas pumps. That's all I got now.
Not too busy.
It's getting over there.
But everyone's laughing, it can't be that bad.
We're laughing at you.
That's fine.
Understand it. I'll teach you about that.
So yeah, Stewart's is actually gonna pave our ditch stumps for us.
Yeah.
We got right on that because we couldn't shut the water off that building and they wanted to demo that day, so to help out, they're gonna pay those for us.
Good. It's nice though.
You wanna, did you tell everybody, what we talked about at the planning board meeting last night?
With, I think that's,
Pertaining-
I think that's what's gonna be,
Washington?
I think that's what they're gonna
That's
discuss in
later.
executive
Okay.
session.
Okay. Dave,
One neighborhood dispute this past week. I got half of it taken care of, the other half's gonna be done by Monday. I'll bring the Calvary up this evening. For the stores, and new lottery tickets. Buy one. I bought one by accident,
How much did you win?
$90. The bill came up to $30 and 24 or $32. What the hell, this is $30 for a ticket. That's dog money I spend. I'm just spending dog money.
Got it for an audit then,
Go for it.
you got locked in.
You'll be working next week.
They're under audit, as taxes are though, so don't worry about it. You won't see them. You don't have to show them. Next page.
No, just a reminder of next Monday's public hearing for the budget, or
Yeah.
special meeting for the budget.
For the budget. That's on the budget at 6 o'clock next Monday night, and that's was my other business that I had after I thought about it. But that's okay. You deserve to have the highlight of that. About the budget, obviously, we had 6 workshops total, our meetings, our special meetings and all that stuff. Everyone, I can't thank enough, Pam, to Judy, to Diane, anyone that helped, obviously the whole board, obviously our meetings, all the workers, all the, department heads. Our budget, as you guys know, the town general is coming in exactly as last year. The highway is coming in exactly as last year. Water 1, 2, and 3 exactly as last year. Water sewer benefiting is exactly last year. The only 3 that are increasing and very, very little is Velcor sewer, number 1 is 1 cent. 1 cent, not 1%, 1 cent. And Velcor sewer 2 is 3 cents. Peru Fire District, which we get from them, they're going up 3 cents per thousand. And county, end of November, Jim, is that roughly around? End of November, we don't know their rate, obviously. They come in and the rate goes up on top. If their rate comes in an average of what it has been or close to as what it has been or even lower, last year it came in lower, we will actually have a decrease in our budget in all reality. If the county taxes come in lower. So a very good budget, and I can't thank everyone enough, and Pam especially, and everyone else. Thank you guys. So with that being said, okay. Any other business? Is there anyone else had anything? Okay, number 12, public comments on agenda items only.
I was a little confused about Diane's hours. What were the dates? That was for what, the last collection of taxes or something?
At the beginning of the year for taxes.
For the town, for the county and land taxes.
We have extended hours, John. She puts extended hours in. And then
okay.
So she's here, I stay with her because of security wise, because money's coming in. And then on a Saturday, she offered that we haven't, I don't know if we've ever had, but last year we did it and it worked out good on a Saturday.
So that's what's going to be.
That's what it is, right there.
Okay.
Did you say 200 tons of sand per lane mile? Is that what you said?
200 pounds of salt.
Oh,
straight salt.
jeez.
It's got a little sand in it right now until we get back into it.
Yeah, because there is that big emphasis on reduced salt now. Oh yeah, picture. I talked to Brandy before the meeting. It'd be nice to get a picture of the board as you are. I know it's a last minute. We probably should have done this way back last January, but I have taken pictures of previous boards. It's kind of nice for a historical record. At that next meeting, maybe? Could
6
people
o'clock.
become prepared for a picture?
But it's gonna be a quick meeting, so it'll be a good time, I think.
Don't start.
Matt won't be here.
Like they just looked at
We'll see if Mel wears his shirt.
That'll be out of the picture.
I'll find Saturday.
should get a pair of rope and
I was talking to Brandy about it before. I really think, we do it, organizations do it. I still think a plaque with just little name tags and not necessarily pictures, just saying supervisor, what year we had supervisors, and the same thing with town board meetings. Maybe, I don't care, but it's nice for historical record to know when Jerome Downs was supervisor, or, right now, we don't know.
Actually, the county keeps a record of that.
Yeah, I know, but try and find it.
It's not.
Yeah, but we definitely could, I mean, that's something that we could, I think it's a good idea.
We have a guy like in the KFC that's very diligent about keeping that up, and it's really nice. You get talking about John Roach, gee, when was he supervisor? I don't have to, it's nice.
We have any wall space left.
What's that?
We have any wall space left.
Well, it could be in there. It doesn't necessarily have to be out here, just,
Put it in dimension, John.
no. Well, anyway, I think it's a good, that's my thought.
I think it's a good idea, too. I do too. Yeah.
But
Hey, Jim, you can tell me who at the county to contact to do that.
It's in the county historian. Anastasia,
Pratt.
thank you.
I'm gonna call tomorrow, and I think it's a good idea. I think everyone, all of us will. Thanks, John.
Well, people deserve it too. They've done a public service. They deserve to be remembered, in my opinion.
Yep, absolutely. And other towns have it, so.
Supervisors and
And
councilmen.
councilmen and supervisors.
They do?
So the years served. Yep. Thanks, John. Anything else? Anyone else? Okay, number 14, I believe this is you, Mr. Matt. Oh, I'm sorry, pay the bills first. Resolution discussion, I'm sorry. Yeah, pay the bills. Resolution discussion, a motion and second to pay the bills. Jim Douglas. Second. Rick. Okay. Resolution Diane.
Resolution authorizing the post-audit payment of certain claims, bills, and invoices of the town. Whereas the town board has reviewed and audited the following claims, bills, and invoices for services rendered and goods provided to the town in November 2019. From town approved vouchers in 2019, 2019014007 through and including 2019014880. Abstract dated 11/14/2019 for the dollar amount totaling $164,867.89. Of that, $47,368.85 was wired, credit cards, and prepaid, and $117,499.04 is remaining to be paid. And whereas the town board finds that claims, bills, and invoices to be acceptable in form and reasonable in amount, now therefore be it resolved that payment of the aforementioned claims, bills, and invoices is approved, and the supervisor be and hereby is authorized to make such payment, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Earl?
Yes.
Mr. Langley?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. Okay, now, nice. Skip along. Number 14. Oh,
You want to mention quick, Mike, about the December meeting that's going to be honoring?
yep, December 30th, that meeting, we talked about this last meeting, or some meeting we had. We're going to, God, I don't have the paper in front of me. Let me get the paper. What's the attorney's name? No, the attorney name.
Mr. Russell?
So Bill Russell will have a resolution done for the December 30th meeting at 6 o'clock. That meeting is the last meeting of the year. He will have a resolution done. Pete Keenan's been on top of it. He's asked us, and we've all blessed it, to have Joe Kelly's name after the courthouse in town of Peru. They will have, I'm guessing, 15 to 20 people here for that, meeting. But they're gonna do the resolution and all that for Joe Kelly for that meeting, December 30th.
What time?
6 o'clock. That's a 6 o'clock meeting. We're gonna put them right up on top, that way they can get in and out. It's usually not a long meeting anyways, but that will be the longer part of the meeting, I'm sure, to honor.
Would it be at all feasible to have that meeting at the courthouse?
We could, absolutely.
If you're sticking to the layout, you could have tables kind of like this, and then you've got that whole
Yeah,
gallery.
that's,
We could.
Did you ever vote on that?
What's that?
Have you ever
It's a
voted?
resolution then. It's a
Oh, I
resolution
see.
discussion, yeah.
So if there's not a lot of other things that have to get done.
No, there's usually not a lot.
Might be kind of cool to do it over there.
Just
Just
how
out
the
of,
roof doesn't like.
No, the roof, it looks good actually, and there's no spots where
so we just
No.
investigate the feasibility of that between now and the next meeting and then figure it out by then.
we can announce it next meeting before, yeah. Yeah, give you a good idea. Definitely would look nice over there, absolutely. Good idea.
Thanks, we want to hear it, there you go.
Bob said he's not giving you any credit, so.
We can get an eggnog shake after McDonald's. What do you think of that?
Okay. Okay, with that being said, number 14, Matt.
I'd like a motion to adjourn to an executive session to discuss, I guess it's still pending litigation.
Pending litigation on Washington Street development. So I need a motion and a second for that.
Make the motion.
Jim Langley.
Second.
Second, Jim Douglas.
And can we invite Bob and Mike?
Bob and Mike.
I don't think we can.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Feel better.
Whether, hey, Matt, hey, Matt, will there be any decision coming out of it? Possibility?
Possibly.
Possibility there could be a decision coming out of it, we don't know yet.
Good.